And we're back for another session of Another Name on the Wall. This week we are creating characters for the 2017 part of our game. 150 years after we left this previous group of characters. Chris is going to be joining us when he can join us. We're going to just do the best we can without him. If we need to maybe get him to weigh in on a few things via Discord, if we need to just wait for him, we'll do that. So, yeah, I think we can just kind of dig right into it. I have some ideas for my character. I'm going to fill those in. But, yeah, we left things with Chris playing the slacker researcher, Neko playing the caregiver yuppie, Diana playing the moonlighter donor, and I'm playing a hotshot dynasty. Is occurring to me that because of the way that I named the backgrounds, those should probably go first when you describe the combo. It just sounds lexically better. Anyway, I know that there were some ideas fomenting last week. Do either of you remember them? Want to chat about them? Follow up on them?
I am quickly reminding myself of what a moonlighter is, and then I think that will help me remember what I was concepting.
Mm-hmm. So you could be a retired physician that is just picking up a few extra shifts in the ER. You could be a researcher like Chris's character, who is picking up some time here for whatever reason. This is also just a way of making money that some doctors prefer, not getting too attached to one place.
Yeah, I do remember Meko mentioning it. I think it was in the about not being a doctor but a nurse. Are you still thinking that, Neko?
Yep.
Fantastic. We love nurse main characters.
Yes.
This is not related entirely to the character I'm making, but I think either the background name for Yuppie or the description should change, because they are really at a mismatch in my mind.
For yuppie and caregiver?
No,
the name and the description?
Yeah. So either the description is not clear or the name is wrong.
The name is probably what the issue is. I struggled with what to call that because I'm trying to make the backgrounds based on class, like in Good Society. And the way that class plays out in medical shows is really interesting. It usually comes up through the lens of what your educational experience was, or how much money you make once you're out of school. Like, are you in one of the really prestigious, high earning specialties or not? And so, where the yuppie came from was that there are a couple of characters in ER and Saint Elsewhere. This doesn't come up quite as often in Grey's, because Grey's is so sleek and high class. But there are a couple of characters for whom most of how we see class interacting in their arcs or in their role in the show is that they're fairly early career doctors. Like, they just finished their residency and they're new attendings, or they're toward the end of their residency, and they're trying to balance making their career work and go forward with a lot of life cycle events like, oh, I've got a new baby. How do I maintain my marriage through this really demanding job? It's really closely tied to the workhorse, actually, in my mind. But a caregiver yuppie probably would be dealing with a lot of the same issues.
Hmm.
I don't know if any of this is helpful insight into how I made this.
Yeah. Well, the definition for yuppie is a young person with a well-paid job and a fashionable lifestyle, which doesn't seem to match the description.
Yeah, I think I just need a better name for it. I'm open to suggestions. I'm going to step away from the keyboard for just a moment because I have to put something back in the freezer.
Okay.
So
No worries. Yeah, I think when yuppie originally came out, it had a slightly different connotation. At least here in California, it did, and then it became that particular definition rather quickly.
Yeah. It's pretty derogatory now.
Yeah.
Like, you don't call someone a yuppie in a neutral or complimentary way.
Yeah. I don't even think I've heard anybody call anybody yuppie.
No, it's a pretty old term.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, old as in 1980s, so I'm like not that old, but in terms of like slang, ancient.
Yeah. Utilize the wealth. Squander. Ooh, okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Wonderful.
So it looks like Chris will be here in about 20 minutes. Yay.
Oh, excellent. That's really good news.
So my vague idea is actually I randomly wanted to take a character from another game that's set in the Wild West and see like how can I convert them into like a doctor type. But their whole thing is in that game they can see spirits. Obviously we're not going to put any supernatural in this game. So like I was thinking of equating it similar to also the way I had Donya in the 1800s is that new agey kind of belief where they're trying to mix both actual science and like, and we had this in the alpha playtest, crystals, because we had that one connection character, if I remember correctly, guys.
Yeah.
Where they're here, and the reason that they're a moonlighter is because they want to back their spiritualistic beliefs with science. Like they believe there's a connection, we just haven't figured it out yet. So obviously, where's the best place to get that kind of energy and stuff? It's at the ER, and they are naturally good at what they do. It's just that they don't think, being if they're a doctor, I'm not sure yet, if they're being a full-time doctor is the best of their use of time.
There are other healthcare professionals that you could be with this type of character. Something that comes to mind is this guy at my synagogue who's a Maggid, a traditional Jewish storyteller, works as one of the chaplains at the hospital, and is also a death doula.
Yeah.
So they could work for the hospital in some kind of spiritual capacity like that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a chaplain or a death doula or a counselor or something. So that's one avenue that comes to mind. Another question that comes to mind is this person a kook? Like, are the way that they are approaching, is the way that they're approaching medicine incorporating kind of spiritualistic, holistic medicine sort of thing? are they doing it in a way that people would call them a quack or a scam artist, or are they just taking this from a less mainstream cultural vantage point?
What I'm thinking possibly, since my desire is convince your ex you've changed, I think in their early life they were very much it was very much them being considered a quack because they were just like grabbing onto anything that seemed to work and like especially in a lot of like in Latino cultures there was commercials and stuff of like spirit water or like like this water will energize you and you just have it blessed or like the whole phenomenon with Herbalife and Nikan. I mean, I know that's global, but there's a
Mhm.
very huge community in the Hispanic community when it comes to like yes, magnets will save everybody kind of thing. So it started
Yeah.
that way, you know, like, oh, and they were really, but they're now in the point of their life. It's like, no, we need maybe having suffered some loss or some sort of repercussions, maybe not directly to them, but indirectly, or did this witnessing is like, but I do believe there's some grain of something in this and has now
Okay.
become, you know,
So, like, they used to be tune all your music to 432 hertz kind of weirdo,
yeah,
and their arc is basically slowly becoming more grounded.
yeah.
I like that, actually. I think that could be really interesting, especially as a follow-up to the really research-heavy, rationalistic 1867 group that we had.
Yeah.
Um,
I do like the idea of doulas, because there are like, pregnancy doulas and the death doulas and everything.
mm,
Um, one of someone I know used to be a death doula and everything. It's just that unfortunately the death doula does hit my personal like don't think about it kind of thing.
yeah, that's very understandable. It doesn't have to be that specifically.
Yeah, but
Like
I
I
do like
said,
the idea it's something like that, like not but with the medical background still, like
mhm.
so. Let me see here. Oh, I never gave her a last name.
I was thinking that perhaps my character um, fairly recently became an NP and was just like a regular nurse before, but she went to like night school type thing while also taking care of a kid.
Okay, yeah,
But she's been a nurse for years.
yeah, just got a new certification with more responsibilities. My grandmother made that transition around the time that they first started certifying NPs. She was one of the first NPs in our area to get certified.
My grandma was also a nurse, but her stories are more about coming back from a date and having to sneak through the morgue so that the nuns wouldn't catch you coming in late.
Oh wow.
I don't think my grandmother worked at any Catholic hospitals. She doesn't have stories like that, to my knowledge. the character concept I'm going with is I'm going to be trying to lean into the kind of hotshot thing in a sort of comedic way. Like, this guy is really arrogant and confident, and to a degree, it is earned. He is very good at what he does, but he kind of stretches that farther than it ought to in social situations.
Hmm.
Kind of doesn't really know how to talk to people other than as a colleague, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And the name is a pun on this thing from a YouTube video I watched with my partner the other day, explaining that it's not pronounced Long Island, it's Long Island. And that sounded like a Good Society character name to me so badly. So he's Dr. Long Island.
I was trying to search for a list of like alternative medicine jobs, and I get an article: alternative career ideas for burned out physicians.
I mean, maybe this person is a burned out physician.
Yeah. Went onto the two extremes and is now trying to find a middle ground.
Another possibility that's occurring to me is that maybe Dr. Fran Santos is a doctor, but not a medical doctor.
Yeah, I'm thinking their current I just had it. Where would it go? Their current job, and the reason why they're at in the ER is they're now a medical writer editor. They're working on a textbook specifically for ER challenges.
Interesting.
Because that was one of the examples of to do when you're a burned out physician is become a medical editor.
Based on these 3 character concepts, I'm really quite interested in seeing how the relationships get divvied up.
Yeah.
It's occurring to me that Dr. Guyland is gonna not be super fun to date. Probably a little bit of a pain in the ass as a research partner, unless there's a fun contrast between the slacker and the hotshot, which there could be. And Lon is probably a real dick of an ex, too. Not that these are bad options, it's just like this game could be spicy.
Yeah. I'm also going to be testing out an accent just to see how it goes. I'm
Do
very
tell,
nervous.
what kind of accent?
In the, I guess it's kind of a Western Southernish accent. It's for this character that I play in the Western game. Because my partner does accents really well, and so I kind of like started doing it with this particular character. And it's also based on like, have you ever seen the movie Maverick?
A long time ago.
So yeah, so Jodie Foster's accent is kind of what I'm trying to emulate. So it's like not necessarily her true accent, but she pretends to be, kind of thing. So we'll see.
So it's kind of a Arizona, New Mexico, West Texas sort of accent.
Yeah, not a big drawl or anything, but definitely not my normal voice. Wasn't this
I'm especially excited to seeing an NP in this kind of game because most of the nurses you see in these shows are RNs. I know of one show that had a PA as a main character, but I can't think of off the top of my head any like hospital shows, doctor shows that prominently feature an NP.
Well, hopefully I will do a good job of it. I might need help occasionally with what my responsibilities and such are as an NP.
Yeah, let me see if I can find something that might be instructive. Like there might be a table of the differences between the 3. Sorry about that. Firefox decided now was a really excellent time to update.
Oh dear.
Joy.
So, yeah. Ooh, I found a handy table. With that outlines the different nursing ranks. So let me put that in the inspiration channel for you. Yeah, they have a nursing hierarchy guide. Oh, I didn't know that nurse anesthetists and nurse midwives were on the same level as NPs. That makes sense, but I didn't know that. This hierarchy list is also bringing to mind another level of nursing that you don't see on TV very much. I think the only show I've ever seen mention CNAs is ER. Because one of the main regular side characters that's part of the nursing staff through most of the run of the show is a CNA. But I'm not aware of any other doctor shows that represent CNAs or LPNs.
So my dad is a doctor, but one of the main things I kind of know from him is that the medical field has been struggling to get people into primary care for years prior even to like the COVID stuff making everything way worse. And so that's kind of contributed to the rise of nurse practitioners because no one wants to go into primary care because you have more paperwork and you get paid less.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked that
my dad is a primary care doctor, so
yeah, like the one kind of doctor everyone needs is one of the lowest paid.
Yeah.
It's honestly quite silly.
He's talked about how the pay is decided by boards and because you have different specialists on there, the specialists outrank the primary care doctors on the board, so it's not likely to change anytime soon.
Yeah. And, some folks were telling me that it kind of used to be the same way in librarianship a couple decades ago. Not a lot of people, and it still is kind of the same way, where not a lot of people wanted to go into public libraries because they pay less. You end up doing a lot of stuff that is not traditionally within your portfolio. Like, it's stuff you didn't learn about in library school. And it's gotten a little bit better. Public libraries have gotten better at enticing people through pay. But
hello,
yeah, Chris, welcome.
Hello.
I'm so sorry. Even though none of this was my fault.
Don't worry about it, though.
Public transportation happens.
Relax.
I mean, the real thing I fucked up is I didn't realize the bus I was planning to take instead of the Red Line was a weekday bus.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
In any case, did you have a chance to think a little bit about your character on the bus ride?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I pretty much got this guy down. Haven't come up with a name yet because I never remembered to do the name.
Well, the other three characters we've got all kind of sound like comic book characters. With Phyllis Jones, Fran Santos, and I'm playing Dr. Lon Guyland.
Here I come with my overly huge bio. I apologize.
Yep, there's the Diana bio.
Yep. And that's with not
It's a
taking into
classic
Diana
consideration
bio.
relationships.
Diana,
either.
I appreciate you so much. One of us has to write enough for 2 bios, and it's not going to be me. Wow, this is really spicy. I am tearing up. Lon Guyland.
Of course you would get it immediately, Chris.
I mean,
Is this going to be too difficult? I can change the name if you want.
no, I'll get over it eventually. But right now, I'm a little bit delirious.
That's
And it's-
understandable.
All I can think about. But yeah, in general, I think this character is the kind of guy who is doing med school residency as a prospective clinical psychologist.
Interesting.
Psychiatrist, rather. And in the years since 1867, I haven't actually. Do we want me to be working at? Do we want me to be under somebody in a psych program, or?
We had decided that the 2017 gang is going to be, like, our scope is going to be the ER.
Right.
So you could be a psych resident who is assigned to the ER.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I'm playing a surgical resident who's assigned to the ER.
But my main deal basically is really into for lack of a better word, psychoactive drugs. And like using MDMA to treat PTSD, but I don't know what that would manifest as in an ER context. Maybe I'm trialing some kind of salvia.
Yeah, I think probably the psychoactive stuff is research that you're doing,
Yeah.
and the ER thing is like something you're doing.
Well,
'cause
no, there
they
is a God. Why do I know this? Oh, because a guy who did a bunch of the research knew my high school AP Chem teacher, came in and gave a talk about it. But they did a whole talk about basically if you use salvia on like concussive trauma patients from like recent falls or asphyxiation from drowning, I think is another one. The outcomes are like 70% better than without that kind of treatment in terms of raw survivability.
That's
Because it
really
relaxes blood
interesting.
flow in the brain.
My high school chem teacher, when we started learning about atomic structures and molecular structures, he started class by putting like a molecular structure that he'd built on the table and getting really serious and saying, "This is LSD," and he gave us this whole screed about how dangerous psychedelics were. We should never ever do them. And now
It turns out they're cool and good.
Yeah, I look back on that having become a devoted user of psilocybin. Just like, come on, Mr. Bray, be cool.
But you gotta be such a fucking narc.
He worked so hard at being the cool teacher too, because he had a lot of untreated ADHD. He wore a tie-dye lab coat.
And gave the anti-LSD speech?
Right? Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's just very, very silly stuff. Speaking of very, very silly stuff, do we want to try and assign some relationships now that Christopher is here?
Please never call me that.
All right, sorry. I apologize.
You missed the window of opportunity because you didn't know me younger than the age of 6.
Understandable. Sorry. It's a habit that I have of humorously using people's full names.
Oh no, it's normally funny, but please don't do it.
Yeah, I appreciate you establishing that boundary. Yeah. Anyway, would we like to assign some relationships
Mhm.
now that the whole gang is here?
Sure. Who's in the trenches with me? Who am I researching with?
It could be very funny for your research partner to be the hotshot surgeon. Like you're specifically researching the use of psychoactive drugs for post-operative care or something like that.
That could be
And-
interesting.
And also the hotshot slacker contrast, I think, would be kind of
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's do
let's
it.
do it. All right.
I think it
guys.
makes most sense for me to give dating to Chris because I don't think that Phyllis would be into Fran. I'm sorry.
Neko, how could you? No. I get it. We can't always pair up. It's okay.
This
I mean,
does
honestly,
I will have
we'll
to
see.
say
We'll see
Dr.
how
Lawrence
long the
Island
dating
a
lasts
lot.
with any of these characters.
True.
I was hoping to be somebody's ex, but I could be dating.
It could still be a
Really,
future desire.
really, what is
of
that
yours.
if not? It's alt and
What is dating if not being research partners?
I don't know.
slow your roll there, buddy.
I don't know if this is going to work with all the relationships we have left to assign, though. But we'll see.
I will be right back, but
Mhm.
I am up for however this is going to work because I think
I also have to give. Actually, we should do this in an order. Okay.
Yeah.
I have received from Chris. I need to give to somebody. Diana has neither given or received. Neko has given and needs to receive. And Chris has given and received.
Yeah, I think the only way this is going to work is if I'm Diana's ex and
You did say you don't think Phyllis would be into Fran.
yeah.
So you could be exes.
Question is, how long did it take you to figure that out?
And then Diana and
Fran
Fran
and Lon
and
are
Lon.
dating.
Fran
That's
and
going to be weird.
Lon would.
One of you could be my
Right.
research partner. We don't have to.
No, I like being your research partner. They can't have it.
Fine.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Excellent.
Hello.
So, Neko and I are pretty sure, Chris did not weigh in, that the way this has to work is that I have to be dating you, Diana. And then you are Phyllis's ex. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I think that's the only way that it works with the stuff we've given
Okay.
out so far.
Yeah, I was
Well,
thinking like that maybe
Otherwise, I
Phyllis
think we
just
have to
had
start over.
Yeah. Otherwise, I was thinking like it would make sense that we were exes, Phyllis. Like Phyllis has had a moment, maybe years and years ago, of something, and like we stayed friends after, or maybe not, or maybe just we're coming back together. Not that it was like a bad breakup. It was just that it happened.
You were my experimenting in college.
Yeah.
And so I have to be rivals with Phyllis.
No, you would be rivals with Fran.
Oh, okay. That works too.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know slightly more about Chris's character, other than like slacker stoner doctor. Is there anything
Do
more
you
to
do
the
you
person?
need more?
I don't know if I
We
need more. I'm just
Most
curious.
of us
if there's
kind
more.
of need a little bit more.
Well, that's what I got, and my brain is currently completely empty. So I
That's fine. We can.
apologize.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. We can establish more in play. So
Let's just like, I don't know what is a person? What is a man
Just
but a
like
miserable pile of
chill, man.
secrets? I have no idea what's happening.
I like that you're getting in character.
Yeah, public transit will just do that to you.
Yeah. Make you start acting out an RPG character as a defense mechanism.
No comment. It doesn't help that I've been running games all day.
Oh, yeah, that really blows. I'm sorry.
PAX, baby. I asked for this. I wanted it. I loved it.
Did you go to any panels? Or just ran
No.
games?
No, I just ran games. PAX East actually sucks. Don't go to it.
Oh, okay. Because like half of my friends ran panels at PAX East.
There's a
This
friend
week.
of mine that is at PAX East who's in my grad program, actually.
You should have
What
said
sucks
something.
about it?
I
Just
might have run for them.
what sucks about
But
it?
no,
is it
I've
just
literally
crowded?
just been clocking in to do games. Like I hit the convention floor maybe twice. Decided I didn't actually care. Looked at the panel schedule, decided I didn't actually care. And I've been enjoying running games. So
Hmm.
Yeah, most
overall
of the
worth it.
time, the conventions, the panels, it's either because I'm on a panel or I know people on the panel, so that's where I go to see. But yeah, I'm usually running stuff. I love
I will
PAX West, but
sometimes
I haven't
just
been there
queue for a
since
panel because I need a
20.
minute to sit down.
Makes sense.
And sometimes I even end up going to them.
I lost my tab. Where are they? There.
I was supposed to be thinking of something.
About your character. At least your reputation tags, because we all must remember to do reputation
Oh, fuck!
tags.
Oh, right. We should make connections too. I should be doing that.
I always forget how many pieces a good society character has.
Yep.
One of the great things about CETA is not having to create reputation tags.
Truly the slowest step in the cycle of play.
Added a sentence just for you, Neko,
I'll have to look at it.
at the very end of it.
I think Ma is. Oh man.
Fuck connections.
The teenager we had in Alpha Playtest might be getting a run for her money.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go super into like any racial stuff because I feel that that's not really my story to tell. But I do think that Phyllis is black, and hence her son is also black.
All right.
All right.
Was Fortnite a thing that was popular in 2017?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was arguably more popular then than it is now.
I mean, hard to say. Truly hard to say.
I did say arguably. I was trying to provoke you into an argument. You've fallen into my trap.
I need to be thinking of names for characters, Roz. That takes 100% of my available brain power.
Understood. I'm sorry. I'm just really punchy today.
I get it. Listen, me too. If I were just
Oh, what just happened?
Hmm?
I suddenly couldn't hear Chris. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Can either of you hear him?
I don't know. Is he saying anything?
He's just opening
oh,
up his mouth. There
I
you go.
I bumped my mic
Ah.
with my hand holding my.
I found out that DoorDash doesn't allow you to order more than an hour in advance.
Yes,
That's
it does.
fucking bullshit.
It
It
wouldn't
does
let me.
here.
Oh, yeah. Because I wanted to order Cheesecake Factory, which, well, my mom wants Cheesecake Factory, and that's in downtown. And I'm like, well, I want to have it delivered by 6:30 when we end the game. And it wouldn't let me do anything beyond the hour ahead of it. I was like, well,
That's awfully silly.
Huh. I've never.
Yeah.
I
Grubhub
did-
you can do it, but
I
feel
did
like-
just look up popular baby names for 2003 to name Phyllis's son.
Kyler,
So
a name I
Aiden
hate
was
on
like
so many
number 2
levels.
or something.
Hang on, let me think of
I'm trying to think of what pop
Aiden.
culture
Yeah,
that would be related
Aiden's
to.
and Lucas's.
Yeah.
I mean, not all popular names are related to pop culture. It might have just been a name that was hot around the time.
True.
I can't think of any Aidens in pop culture, actually.
No, I can't either.
I just know of actors, but yeah, they wouldn't. They're old enough actors; they wouldn't be considered. Yeah.
I think there's a famous criminal named Aiden from the mid 2000s. Aiden Abetting.
I want to call. I wanted to say Baka because that's what I always tell my
Oh my God,
significant
you laugh.
other whenever he says a pun. It's like, just
I didn't think it was that bad. Jesus.
I love watching Among Us videos from a couple of people on YouTube, and one person's like, you gotta guess Pionk as like this character. Is like, no, you're not gonna guess me. You're not gonna guess me. You know why? Because I'm leaving the game, and she disconnects from the game so she wouldn't be guessed. And I thought that was hilarious.
He's still in the dock, at least. There's part of it. Okay, there he is.
It took me. The entire delay was me attempting to push Control Shift T without looking at the keyboard because it's a weird angle.
Okay. I didn't think the pun was that bad.
No, that was more than you deserved, but only just.
You know what it is? I recently upgraded increased my testosterone dose. It's probably giving me more dad joke energy.
Side effects no one talks about.
Hmm. Diana, what's the nature of our rivalry?
Let me see.
I have an idea, but I want to hear what you think first.
I mean, he's a surgeon. Surgeons tend to be rivals with other surgeons generally. I think, and I feel like this might have been like a Scrubs kind of episode of like, because like not every surgery has to be a surgery. It's like, obviously this is the ER though, so most of the time it is, but maybe it's like for certain things she convinces like, no, you do not need the surgery, not for like Major, obviously she's not stupid and everything,
Well,
but like for,
they have a difference in philosophy. Fran prefers to treat medically,
yeah,
or holistically, as the case may be, and Lon wants to cut.
yeah. And so yeah, so maybe the rivalry is like, is how many cuts can he do in a day?
That's basically what I was thinking. It is. I think there might also be a dimension of Fran has shown him up a few times by like getting a tricky diagnosis, even though their methods are a little too long, a little eccentric.
Yeah.
Like I think there might be, because like, Lon is hardcore surgery science bro, and I think there might be an element of like, this fucking witch doctor showed me up. How dare they?
Yeah. And I think it's
not to take it to like a culturally imperialist kind of place. Just kind of like, this person needs surgery, and they're talking about crystals.
Exactly, and magnets. And no, I like that. And I'm thinking maybe it's like an uneven rivalry. Like she acknowledges it, but it doesn't bother her either way, kind of thing. So it's not necessarily completely one-sided, but like, because she does enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah, it would make sense to me that Fran is slightly more aloof from it. I've turned my camera off so I can finish these chips without looking like an animal.
Dang, Fran sounds like they would be insufferable in real life, but in this game, I'm very excited.
Look, they're learning to be a better person. It just took them a while. Also, I couldn't help having a pun for my character. I'm like, yeah, when they were in their 20s, they were the sainted one because her last name means saint.
Oh, I can't believe my son is going to find out about my my indiscretions in college.
Through TikTok. Wait, fuck. Does TikTok exist in 2017, or was the world still pure?
I think it was Vine. I think it was Vine in
Vine.
I think
was a little bit
Instagram
earlier,
was the popular one in 2017.
but I'm looking both of these.
I was
up.
in high school in 2017, and I do not remember.
That's fine. 2017 was a long time ago.
At least one subject.
Okay.
Subject.
Vine was shut down in 2017.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
okay.
remember that.
Yeah,
No,
I
but it
remember
was-
that.
Then it was Tumblr because Tumblr
I
did the
remember
whole
that-
post of like Vine compilations.
I do remember.
I think
the death of
Instagram was
Vine.
also pretty popular with like.
TikTok
But
was
no, in
just
terms
getting-
of okay, so if Vine was shut down in 2017, then you probably would have been a Vine influencer who needed to get a YouTube channel.
or who needed to move to TikTok because TikTok started in 2016 as musical.ly.
Musically is not like a content sharing app. It's specifically for lip sync dances.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, but like initially it was Musically, and then it became TikTok. Oh no, they merged with Musically.
Yeah. No,
In
so
2016.
TikTok is
Okay.
actually it's two companies. It's a Chinese news aggregator algorithm and Musically.
So that's why
You're
TikTok
muted.
is so weird.
Yes. And also the Chinese government is definitely for sure 100% accessing all of its data.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have to post on TikTok. How else will I get good social credit?
Ugh. I miss the 1860s already.
Yeah, and Instagram was released in 2010, so it was like really going strong in 2017. So it could be Instagram or TikTok or like a dying Vine star. There is part of me that kind of wonders if maybe Aiden is really into Twitch, actually.
Oh, it would be Twitch. If you want to
Oh,
start
yeah.
a weird cult, that's the place to do it.
Yeah,
Well, he
Mhm.
likes Fortnite, so.
That's Twitch content, is what that is.
Yep.
it is.
Doing ninja.
Fuck.
I can't
But,
believe
yeah.
we're allowing a peak gamer into my pristine hospital game.
How old is this elite gamer? 9?
He's 14.
Oh no.
He's past his prime, but still good.
That is how these motherfuckers think, though.
Yeah.
It's messed up what social media does to kids.
Yeah,
Every time
I don't know that
Oh.
many people who are kids right now, so.
Every time a teenager calls me old because I'm 30,
I resemble that
Evolve.
remark.
I just. Do you resemble the teenager calling me old part or the 30
I
part?
literally, Roz, it was a joke and break.
I know. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I cannot retain information anymore.
It's
High
fine.
school has
me
killed me.
neither. I only remember when I'm funny.
Mhm.
So I won't be mean. I'm sorry.
No, that's actually the opposite of the truth.
I don't know. I really don't know that much about Fortnite. Like, is it still cool for teenagers? Like, is it
Yeah.
only for 10-year-olds? I don't.
No,
No,
it's,
I play
it's
it regularly.
Everybody now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Because it-
10-year-olds in 2017 are still playing Fortnite because they're only 14. 16 now, but
16,
still.
yeah. No, I mean I still play Fortnite and I'm very happy they do the no build because that's the one thing I can't do as an old is the Twitch building. Like the stream So I just play no build and actually have sniper capabilities and can kill people in front of me instead of them no longer having to rely on buildings and dropping on top of them.
You mean you don't have the reflexes of a gerbil on ketamine?
Unfortunately,
How
no.
can you how can you enjoy Fortnite in these conditions?
I just am curious how many gerbils on ketamine you've met.
A non-zero number. I will not
Why are
elaborate.
you giving?
No further
Why are you?
questions.
I have to know why you're giving them special K.
I did not at any point give a rodent special K.
Excellent. My teenage brother who plays Fortnite, though.
No, it was the like knife kid at my high school.
Oh,
He
geez.
got suspended for bringing in a gerbil on ketamine.
I'm trying to write a bio here. I just can't.
Wait, you're not done with the bio?
No. With my connections little bio.
Oh, you say okay. I was like,
Yeah, no.
Diana.
My bio is done. I still have to think of my
I have
reputation.
no idea why Dylan and Phyllis are dating because I know nothing about Dylan, so it's fine.
I mean, I don't know. Let me learn anything about Phyllis and mold myself to match. A normal, healthy thing to do in a relationship.
Also, I'm excited to see Stoner stepdad energy.
He's always sober at work.
Yeah,
At work.
that's what the night shift phase is for.
I know exactly which of my coworkers I'm basing this character on, by the way.
Oh no.
The slacker.
Legitimately
role-
the most competent second grade teacher I've ever met.
Would it be interesting?
And also
to help-
a man who still has frosted tips at 38.
Oh.
That's glorious.
I'm just suddenly
I wish him
thinking
all the
of
best.
what's his name from NSYNC that had frosted tips.
Oh,
Was it Justin?
Lance Bass.
It was
Oh, it was
Justin.
Lance. Yes.
Oh, it was Lance.
Lance too.
They
Yeah.
both did.
Yeah, because Justin had the like stupid ramen haircut.
Yeah, and so Lance was the one with the frosted tips. If it is helpful for you to know what characters inspired the slacker role, there are two. In
It is not. I've never seen a
Okay.
medical drama
That's fine.
except MASH.
MASH
Technically,
counts. MASH counts. You could kind of say Hawkeye's a slacker because, like, he does whatever
that is-
possible to avoid
Wait.
work.
that is kind of the energy I'm going for. Like Hawkeye is a very serious surgeon and also just a
Goofball.
complete moron.
Yeah, he's a total goofball who accidentally is good at his job. I was mentioning this because I just think it's funny that this character even existed. Shane West was on ER for a couple of seasons.
Who?
As in, like, the guy from A Walk to Remember, Shane West.
Who?
Oh yeah.
Hang on, let me Google some stuff.
Yeah. And he plays this resident who is balancing finishing his, like, doctor stuff and also being in a rock band. And he's like the bad boy who plays guitar. There's an extended period in which he lives on the roof of the hospital because he can't afford rent.
If I know this show didn't take literal like 16 years to watch, I would love it.
I highly recommend it because it goes to some really goofy places that are very fun. He ends up quitting the rock band after someone like tells him to get serious, and it sinks in like, oh, I have to pick what's really important. And he has a really good glow up, honestly. until a love triangle goes south and he gets really drunk and really sad and walks out into the street and a truck hits him and he loses both of his legs and that's how he leaves the show.
Ideal. That's how Dylan's going out.
The other main inspiration is Howie Mandel's character from Saint Elsewhere.
Now, I'm familiar vaguely with the comedy of a young Howie Mandel.
The character he plays in Saint Elsewhere has a little bit of that energy because this is the period when he was young and still doing stand-up and still had hair. And he's the ER doctor who just kind of likes joking around and being silly. And occasionally really fucked up stuff happens to him that makes it hard to keep the party going. In almost every scene that he's in, he's wearing a Boston Red Sox hat, even at work. He often also wears a jersey to work. It's just like,
Man's got pride
fuck the rules.
in the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
My university was like literally 2 streets over from Fenway Park. Drunken Red Sox fans would spill past campus. It was horrible.
That does sound horrible, actually. All right, let me just do a quick time check. It's
Yeah,
about
I'm
8
sorry,
o'clock,
but
man.
I'm not going to get anything done today. I'm realizing.
That's really fine. We should probably add some stuff to the hospital info tab while we're all together. During character creation in 2017, each player submits one detail about how the hospital has changed over the last 150 years. This can be about how the hospital has changed as a physical space. It could be how it's changed like in an institutional, organizational sense. We're open to lots of different things. So who would like to add a detail in like rows 11 through 15, say?
The original hospital building burned down.
Oh, when did it burn down?
1948. And was rebuilt in horrible brutalist concrete.
I love it and hate it. I hate the brutalist movement.
It's great, as long as it's not like a building where people exist.
The art museum in my city is built in a brutalist style.
See, that's the ideal. The impetus of that building is get the fuck away from me.
A little bit, yeah. Much of my college campus was also brutalist architecture.
Can't believe we did a whole game in 1860s Philadelphia and I didn't mention Frank Furness even once.
Who's Frank Furness?
He's an architect who designed the most beautiful, like, goth banks I've ever seen.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
They're almost all torn down. The
Aw.
one, like, still standing furnace building that I know he, like, the man himself designed, and not just the fern, is the Philadelphia School of Fine Art.
Oh, excellent. Gonna look this up.
Also, look up the I think it's called Independence Bank. It's on the site of the old Independence Hall, and it is just a gorgeous example of.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
Yeah. That is directly across from the Philadelphia Convention Center. And yes, I did stay up till 3 a.m. last time it was at PAX Unplugged, researching that building specifically, and then Frank Furness.
Oh, Frank Furness has some excellent facial hair.
He's one of them post-Civil War guys.
Hmm. Okay. What are some other details we want to contribute about how the hospital's changed in
I
100
do
years?
think that there's a Hamilton ward in the hospital somewhere.
Okay.
Now, is that a...
Or like something that's been paid for by the Hamilton family, who is, I believe, still a big. Basically, when I was making Sophia, I like researched actual old Philadelphia families who are still kind of prominent. So
Where's the Union Hall still?
How do you feel about a Hamilton clinic for women's health?
yeah,
Excellent. Diana, do you have something you want to add?
I remember I had an idea this week and I did not write it down, so I'm trying to remember that or thinking. Hmm. I'm still looking over our legacies to see if that'll help me remember.
I'm going to add a detail. I don't think St. Genesius is a Catholic hospital anymore. I
Ooh.
think the medical school that it was attached to has kind of overtaken the Catholic aspect.
Are we
And so
part
now
of
it's
UPenn
connected.
now?
It's not, well, we're now a private university.
Ah,
We could be part of UPenn if you'd rather.
nah.
I don't think many people would rather be part of UPenn.
so we're officially like a teaching hospital.
Yes.
Nice.
At least that would make more sense of why I'm there as a medical textbook person in the ER.
God, being an RN at a research hospital must suck.
Okay. Yeah, when we said that monastic order was declining, it really declined.
Yeah.
Also,
Oops.
as fun as Maison de la Corriveau was,
Yeah, no.
I think I've had my fill of Catholic roleplay for a while.
Me too. But much like you motherfuckers and Thatcher Cruz, Kaya is now making jokes at me about it in the server.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. If it's a bad thing.
Who knows?
Okay. When you say in the server, do you mean my server or in Storybrewers?
No, in Enchanted Society.
Okay.
I say jokes. It was like 2 jokes.
Mhm.
But I am nonetheless called out and offended. Screaming, crying, throwing up, etc. I was definitely supposed to be doing something.
Making a connection, perhaps.
Fuck.
Connection, reputation, one sentence in your bio.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna, instead of doing that, lie down.
If you need to, that's fine. I need to call a quick bio break. So, you want to reconvene 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I think that'll be
Right.
good.
Excellent. Hello, friends.
Although,
I am here.
Wonderful. So, oh, yes, Diana's added her detail. For the last couple of decades, the higher-ups have refused to bring in new and fresh research technology, wanting to keep teaching what they've had, because if it ain't broke... ...
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. So they're like a private teaching hospital led by some pretty backward-thinking people, it sounds like.
Yeah. Like, we've used this textbooks for the last 30 years. It's done us good. Why do we need to have a new textbook that contradicts a quarter of the things in there?
Hmm.
Kind of like thinking, from the higher ups.
Hopefully it's not 30 years old. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be like actually dangerous.
Yeah, no, that the prescription strength meant something different in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 80s would be 40 years ago, so like, yeah.
Like a textbook from 91. Textbooks are never up to actual date.
So that's done. Sounds like most of the character creation is finished.
I think I've got... I don't have an arc for Dylan, but I have like a backstory kind of fleshed out.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll type it up later because using
Yeah.
my keyboard while using my camera is
Yeah,
is a nightmare. It's all the way
yeah,
up here.
I understand completely. We have about an hour left of our scheduled time. We could end it here because I'm not sure what else we would need to do unless we were going to go straight into some roleplay. But it sounds like folks are kind of tired, kind of need to head off.
I think.
Are we
done.
comfortable leaving this here and resuming next week?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not feeling great, Chris, which is understandable considering everything.
Yeah, that.
It happens.
And we're already going to be adding a session or two to our scheduled time because I think we're probably going to need it. So
yeah, we dropped
it's
at
really-
least one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really fine for us to just call this here, I think. So, yeah.
I
I'm
would
gonna
love to
end
maybe
the
over
broadcast.
Discord over the week talk about why Phyllis and Dylan are together, though.
I will be you have my word. I will be
Okay,
meditating
thank
on
you.
this.
As I said earlier, I'm really excited for like stoner stepdad energy. Don't tell your mom about this.
Oh,
I mean, all right. So the extreme Cliff's Notes version, the single sentence version of this backstory is that Dylan went to like probably UPenn actually, or if this is like a prestigious teaching hospital, then whatever St. Genesius University or whatever the fuck
Yeah, he's an
Pennsylvania
alum.
Medical
Now he works
College.
here. Yeah, something like that.
But point is that he's like now in residency, but he like had to sell drugs to get through med school.
Okay.
And rich kids, they pay a premium for someone who knows what they're doing.
So it's like a suit situation then.
A
You ever
little
seen that
bit, but
show?
then like
Yeah.
another like angle I'm trying to think of here is maybe maybe this all started because he had to like self-medicate a chronic illness.
mhm.
Because that shit, let me tell you, doctors, they do not care and they will not tell you how to fix it.
Yeah. Speaking as a sufferer.
Same.
Yeah.
Love being
All
a
right,
15-minute time slot.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end the broadcast now.